I mean, here's some of the stuff I didn't share first service. Because I thought, well, I feel weird saying some of it, but it's boasting about my God. But people always doubted my God. I mean, ever since I remember when we got married, my wife and I, when we were going to start this church, this little gathering, and people were like, I remember one of the first weeks, someone even said to me, Francis, no one comes here because of you. No one cares to hear you. We're here because we're, it's our friends and everything else. So just understand that. It's like, oh, okay, all right. I just, it's just from day one. But I remember even, and here's the thing, and this is, but this is about my God. I remember the money thing. At first just going, no, I don't want to take any money from the church. And people just kept saying, no, don't worry, my God will come through for me. And then we started taking this little salary, and everyone's like, no, you should take a bigger salary. You know what? I go, I'm going to be okay with this. God's going to be okay. And everyone in my face going, look, that's not fair to your kids. They'll never get to go to college or whatever else. And we're like, no, you know what? If we lived off of 36 grand, we can live off 36 grand next year. Until let's just see what God does. Let's see what happens. And then, everything, the refrigerator breaks down, and suddenly that day someone will go, hey, I got a fridge, do you need it? I accidentally bought two, or whatever, It's just crazy, things. I could tell you story after story after story. When everyone says, oh, that's so dumb. And I'm going, man, but people are in need overseas. I mean, they're dying today. Like someone's just trying to look for clean water. How can I justify this or this or this? I just trust me, they'll be okay. And they're like, well, your kids in the future, and you got to worry about them. I go, no, don't worry. They'll get a scholarship, something. Something will happen. Money will come through. I just got to worry about today, and I got to worry about the kingdom today, and seek that first. And you know what, if that person's dying today, why am I worried about myself? What it'll be like 30 years from now? I got to think about now, and I got to trust this kingdom thing's going to work. And just as things start happening, just in faith and giving, it was always just shut down. It was always like, don't do that. When I came back from Africa and I just saw the need, it's like, oh, I just want to help them. Just sell the house and let's just move in this little place. And it was like, oh, you can't do that, to your kids. And that was the greatest time of our lives, and then it's just, and then as we gave more and more, I remember one year just going, gosh, do I feel like you're saying you want me to give $50,000 this year, to the church? And I'm going, I don't even make $50,000, but let's just see what happens. And sure enough, these things just started happening and money started coming in. I'm going, no way. We gave away 50 grand. I think I made that last year, and I gave that away this year. This is insane. I feel like he wants me to give 100,000 this next year, And suddenly things start happening, and wow, we were able to give away $100,000. It's like, are you kidding me? And then it was like, oh, no. I really believe that he wanted me to give away $1 million this last year. And we did. When we gave over the royalties, again, it was like, wow, we just gave away everything. It was $1 million and it's still going and everything else. And what do people say? You know what? That wasn't smart. That wasn't wise. You should have taken some and locked it away in case of emergency. And I would just go, so you're saying what's happening in Ethiopia isn't an emergency? What's happening in Thailand is not an emergency. What's happening in Haiti, that's not an emergency is only if it affects you and your kids. But these other, who cares about Africans or the Indians or the, the people in the Haitians? That's not an emergency. Emergency is you and your family. And that's just silly to just give and care or whatever. And it's people just constantly, it's like, okay, did you make $1 million this year? Did your income 10 times from last year by living responsibly? And don't you go living by faith. I go, no, I'm done with it. I want to just stand here and brag about my God who's come through for me ever since day one, from believing him like a little kid, going, man, I can give every single thing away. I can take my family anywhere. I can take them through the valley of the shadow of death. You know what? In October, we're going to India. We're going to Thailand. We're going to China. We're going to wherever. And you know what? My God's going to be with me. And we can give and do anything. And I'm tired of people telling me, oh, no. Now you got got to be responsible. Now you got to be responsible because you're older and you got to be more. You got kids now. You got 4 kids. You got this. You got that. No, I've got the same shepherd. I've got the same shepherd.